What's going on, Bulls Nation? Welcome in to CHGO Bulls pregame, presented by Circa Sportsbook. Download that Circa Sports Illinois app. Make sure you sign up with CHGO Illinois-app/CHGO when you sign up. I'm Peck. You can follow me on Twitter at Bulls_Peck. My guy with me in studio, Big Dave Bow, BAWL Sports. Our pal and producer, Joey Spath, is on the controls. And joining us for a little pregame chat from the United Center, our guy, Will the GOAT Gottlieb. Follow him for all of his Bulls updates or reporting. Will_Gottlieb. Will, thanks for taking the time with us, man. I know pregame is a busy time for you, but we wanted to talk to you before tip-off because you and your fellow members of the Bulls beat got a chance to talk to Zach LaVine after this morning's shoot-around for the first time since yesterday's trade openness report came out. First of all, I guess just tell us, what was the vibe like with Zach? We saw the video you posted earlier today where he was very up front while also being kind and political with his answers. Mm-hmm. Was anything in Zach's answers today something that caught you off guard, or is it about how you expected him to handle it?
I mean, Zach, as are many of these NBA guys, very well trained in the dark arts of public relations, and they know what to say and they know how to say it. There were a couple of things that perked up my ears a little bit, but for the most part, it was just like, look, we got a game tonight. Like, I'm still here right now. I'm like a member of the Chicago Bulls. I'm going to put my jersey on with pride. I'm going to go out there and try to find a way to win, which I think is good to hear. I mean, we talked about this pregame with Billy, and I'll get into this in a minute, but like, this has some disaster potential, in my opinion, where, if Zach's checked out and he's still playing 36 minutes a game and guys don't want to play with him because he's not going to be here and he's quit on the team, like that could get sour really quick. But I guess I'll start with this. The two things that Zach said to me that stood out. Number one, Zach typically, when he has a chance to deny a trade rumor, he does it. He says, if it didn't come from my mouth, it did not come from my camp. It's not for me. It's not for real. And we gave him the chance to deny this past rumor from yesterday. I don't even really know what to call it, like a rumor, a report, a request, like an openness, as you said. I'm not really sure what it's called. But basically his response to the question, is this for real, was, that's why I have an agent like Rich Paul. So that's a different tune. That's something that's straight up like not denying the request. And he, like I said yesterday, I believe this to be a trade request. I don't think he's going to come out and basically like demand to be traded publicly. I don't think that's how he is as a person. But that's the sentiment I keep getting based on all the information that's coming out. And the second thing is, like, he basically like expressed a frustration with the losing. Obviously the 4-7 start, right? Like, nobody's thrilled about that. But what he said was, like, for the past 3-4 years, we've been trying to make this work and we've been trying to do the right thing, and we're in the same place. And so, I mean, he feels what we all feel. He feels that, they're kind of spinning their wheels here, that things aren't working and they're not getting better. And so I think he's finally kind of seeking out new opportunities for himself, new greener pastures. So definitely a weird time. I mean, I think we all kind of knew something like this was coming, but we also kind of talked about our trade request being the thing that kind of gets the Bulls out of their own way. And it turns out that it's happening 11 games into the season, less than a month into the regular season, and still 2 months away from the period at which point a lot of the players around the league can be traded. So I think we're in for a long stretch here where there's just uncertainty hanging over this team.
Will, first of all, shout out to you for naming the sequel to a potential downfall with disaster potential. That was awesome. But also, what do you feel like kind of the vibe was when you walked into the UC or the Advocate Center with the players and the coaches? Did you notice a change in how they felt, or was it kind of business as usual?
Well, we haven't really talked to any of the other players. Billy is very again, really just good at managing the media. And so I think he'll say the right things. He basically said, like, it's our job to come in and still do our job every day. We have a job to do. We got to come in and not let this affect us. And I have a good relationship with Zach. I think we have to continue to work on things and confront issues as they arise. but he's always been great with me about that. And, I don't think this is a situation where there's going to be like a blow up between those two guys or between Zach and any of his teammates. Like, Zach is a professional. He's going to come in and do what he needs to do, because at the end of the day, I think now is a point where there's going to be other teams like with a keen eye on Zach and what he does and how he operates and how he plays for the next 2 months, because that's going to impact what teams are willing to give up for him. So if he's not on his best behavior, I think that could affect his ability to go somewhere he wants to go. And I think he's probably aware of that.
Will, you just a few moments ago posted a column that everybody should go read after pregame, allchgo.com, talking with Billy before tonight's game about his relationship with Zach. And there were some really interesting quotes in there from Billy, all of which pointed to, Billy trying to relay to the media and everyone else a very strong relationship with Zach. Went out and visited him on the West Coast several times throughout the offseason. He said Zach's always responsive when I call him or text him. There's also been some talk that there might still be this little bitter part of Zach hidden somewhere deep down, still to this day, about one game last season in which Billy benched him late in the fourth quarter on a night when Zach was having a really rough night. There's also simultaneously, I saw from our pal Joe Cowley today on the Sun-Times, a few paragraphs in there about how maybe there is some ongoing friction between Zach and his teammates, and it's a question about his accountability and whether or not he is bought in. Do you think that the relationships going on here, whether it be between Zach and his head coach or Zach and his teammates, are more dire than they are all collectively letting on right now?
It's possible. Zach said this, and I think it's true. Like, everybody's just frustrated. They're frustrated. They're losing games. They're frustrated. The things that they feel like were supposed to work for them to make them a better team aren't working. And I think all of that was out of their comfort zone, right? They were going to have to play a little bit faster. They're going to have to share the ball a little bit more. They're going to have to shoot more threes. They're going to have to drive more and not settle for jump shots. That's not in these guys' nature, at least in like what's most comfortable within their game. And so they're trying to go outside of their comfort zone in that way, and it's still not working. And so I think there's a level of frustration up and down the roster. Zach said as much. I don't know. That's kind of what I'm saying. Like, I think, disaster potential. What I mean by that is, like, if this continues to go south and attitudes continue to get worse and Zach is still around, even though he's already requested a trade, like, there's going to be some potential for a lot of friction. And I think, starting tonight with the Magic, you've got two games with them, Wednesday, Friday, and then 2 against the Heat, Saturday, Monday. Like, this is going to be a real test to see, is this team like for real about continuing to try, or are they going to, not be able to stand up to the adversity in front of them as they have struggled with in the past?
Well, we know DeMar is going to be out tonight. Patrick's back in the starting lineup. Is there anything you would expect to see? Because I'm not really used to seeing the Bulls play without DeMar in the starting lineup, especially this early in the season. So is there any new guys we might see coming in? I saw people wanting to see Julian Phillips, maybe get some tick or something like that. Do you think there'll be any kind of change, the rotation as far as Billy Donovan might have it set?
Well, Alex is back tonight, which is good news. And so you're still in this position of having basically a 9-man rotation. So I would say Alex steps up a little bit more. Obviously, they'll be careful with him and his minutes. Billy kind of joked that, like, there's no restriction on him tonight any more than there is every game because they're trying to be careful with him. So I think he'll be back and getting minutes. I think Patrick will have a chance to step up into a bigger role. This is, I think, kind of what they need to see, though, is how do these guys operate when given more opportunity? That's a huge deal for NBA players trying to carve out a role for themselves, is, do you take opportunity when it's available to you? And a lot of times, unfortunately, that's as a result of injuries, or in DeMar's case tonight, a personal matter. So hopefully somebody else can step up. I think we see a bit more of Io. I think we see a bit more of Patrick. Hopefully, like I said, Zach is able to sort of compartmentalize here and not worry about where he is and what team he's on, and just go out there and play the way that he is capable of playing, not necessarily the way that he has played so far.
We'll let you go. We know you got a lot to get to. Make sure you're following Will_Gottlieb for all of his reporting and updates throughout tonight's Bulls game against Orlando, and we will see you again for post-game, buddy.
Talk to you guys later.
The GOAT,
The GOAT.
Giving us the inside scoop from this morning's shoot-around where
Good to get an early GOAT.
it's great to get. I mean, any time of day or night, GOAT's always delicious.
Pre-GOAT.
On that note, let's take a quick pause. Shout out some of our friends and sponsors, then we'll dive back in with a few more of our thoughts from Zach's shoot-around interview, and then a look at tonight's opponent, the Orlando Magic. While we're doing that, if you're watching with us on YouTube, what's up, Bulls Nation?
Hi.
Throw us a thumbs up if you're hanging out with us.
Please.
Make sure you're subscribed to the CHGO Sports YouTube channel.
Do it.
Big Dave.
Joey, when you get your thing together, you mind telling me what time it is?
Game time. Ooh.
I see you're going to match my energy. I thought you were going to go a little higher, but you're going to match the energy I'm
That was a
giving.
match.
All right. He's going to match it. So that means I got to, get raw.
Yeah.
If I want the real game
Yeah.
time. I see what it is, Joe. I see what it is. You shouldn't have to worry when you're buying tickets to your next big event, ladies and gentlemen. Game Time is the fast and easy way to buy tickets to all your sports, music, comedy, and theater events nearest you with killer deals. Last minute deals. All in prices viewed from your seat and their best price guarantee. Game Time takes the guesswork out of buying those tickets. Game Time has deals on tickets right up to the start of the event. And even an hour after it starts, it's not the place, it is the place to find last-minute seats, exclusive flash deals, and sponsored deals on tickets to football, basketball, baseball, concerts, comedy, theater, and much, much more. With zone deals, you pick the section, Game Time does the selecting with the average savings of, drumroll please, Matthew, 18% savings. What? Oh, Game Time guarantee means you'll always get the best price. So take the guesswork out of buying tickets with Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account. Use the code CHGO for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account. Redeem the code CHGO for $20 off. Download Game Time today. Last minute tickets, lowest price guaranteed. Because Matt Pack, what time is it? Game Time. Who?
Man.
I feel that.
I got like extra Game Time Who juice right now because
Game Time Who juice. Okay.
after watching the TNT doubleheader last night after Nuggets Clippers was over,
Oh, good game.
I've just been in a dark place recently as a Bulls fan. I'm not gonna lie, I think y'all know that. I needed to feel something good,
Okay. Got you.
so you know what I did?
What'd you do, Matt?
You watch The Last Dance.
I put on episode 1 of The Last Dance. This is my comfort zone. This is my therapy. And man, the usage of some of those pregame huddle, Game Time Who footage in that documentary.
Comes in handy, baby.
Oh man. Ooh, I just got a little neck hair shiver just thinking about it. It always helps. The Last Dance always helps, y'all.
It does. It does.
Tonight's pregame also brought to you guys by our friends at the Goose Island Beer Company.
Woo!
It's Chicago's beer and has been since 1988, the Jordan year.
Yeah.
MVP, Defensive Player of the Year,
Yeah.
All-Star MVP, dunk contest winner.
Yeah.
Try the Oktoberfest. It's November, but you're still allowed. The Beer Hug family is here. I'm drinking a Neon Beer Hug. It's delicious. Big Dave, this is your first taste of the Juicy.
Of the juicy.
How's it going?
Doing it for Joe. Not too bad.
Not too
Not
bad.
too shabby at all, ladies and gentlemen. The thing's pretty delicious. I
And
dig it.
Full Pocket Pilsner, you got to
No
try that
aftertaste,
one.
but I'm digging it.
It's our current favorite. Grab Ultra Fresh Brewery exclusive beers at Goose Island Original Brew House on Clybourne Ave in Lincoln Park, or from their tap room on Fulton Street in Westtown. Goose Island Beer Company. It's Chicago's beer.
You know what I did?
What?
For my happy place, I turned on NBA TV yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
They were showing the Bulls versus the Knicks Christmas Day game from 1994. Ooh. And it went into overtime because Hubert Davis hit a 3 because your dad, Will Perdue, made a terrible foul. And
Just going to throw him under the bus like that?
it happened. He was there. And Steve Kerr batted the ball out. Instead of catching it with 3 seconds left, he batted it out like Vlade Divac did, and he batted it out to Hubert Davis, who buried a 3 to send it into overtime. But the Bulls won in overtime, so it was all right.
Love Bulls Christmas Day wins.
It was a really awesome game. It was great to go back here, Marv. You know what I mean? And just watch the old, when you see in his first, inception kind of thing. It was fun. It was fun to watch.
Also, reality check in the present. It's not great that most of the things that make us feel all warm and tingly inside as Bulls fans happened 30 years ago.
Also, Scottie Pippen had 36 points and 16 rebounds that game. Just throwing that, and 5 steals, 3 assists.
Prime MJ-less Scotty
he was off the chain.
He was something else.
Kukoc 25 off the bench.
He was something else.
Just throwing that out. But yes, you're right, Matt. Had to go way back to get those feelings.
Speaking of Bulls and beers, quick reminder, we are having our first CHGO Bulls takeover this Friday.
Yeah!
Day after tomorrow.
Yeah!
At the UC.
Woo!
Before the UC, we will be hanging out at Third Rail Tavern, one of our lovely neighbors here in our West Loop office neighborhood.
Awesome place.
Beers and vibes at Third Rail Tavern. And then we're all taking their shuttle bus over to the Madhouse to go watch the game. I think we might have a couple of tickets left. So if you're on the fence for what you want to do with your Friday night, we got your answer. Come hang out with us, your fellow Bulls fans. Vibes, high, beers, delicious. They got Goose on tap at Third Rail.
Yes.
Drinking some Goose.
Guys,
go to the Madhouse, try some Bowling Goose beers. It's going to be a good time.
Guys, come hang out with us. We are so excited to hang out with y'all, man. Like, seriously, I am very excited to drink some beers and hug some fans because this is that time. This is not an awesome time right now. We need all the love right about now, and I got plenty of it to give. So come get some of this love right here and get some of these beers and this laughter too, because we're going to be on these jokes. And of course, Joey Spathis will be in the house. Joey Spathis is going to make a rare appearance in public and allow the people to see him.
First bucket bet advice in person.
In person. Joey's going to deliver it in person.
Who we got tonight, Joe?
Patrick Williams.
Oh! Once he found out he was
starting. You might be thinking like, wait, what? Yeah, no, Pat's starting. There you go.
Yeah.
Patrick Williams and Torrey Craig with the absence of DeMar tonight. And we'll touch on that in a minute. But yes, so takeover this Friday, going to be a great time. If you can't make it to the takeover this Friday, good news is we already have our next event after that on the books. A CHGO Bulls watch party for their game against the Celtics, November 28th.
Yeah.
Bulls Celtics.
Yes.
I always love Bulls Celtics, regardless of what's going on. It's Bulls Celtics.
In-season tournament.
And it's a Tuesday night, so tourney game. That will be at Wings and Rings on Halstead.
Wings.
And that is free to attend. All you got to do is RSVP on our CHGO events page so we know who's coming.
Yeah.
But in case you can't make it to the takeover and you wanted to come to the takeover, November 28th, just a couple weeks later, boom, watch party, Wings and Rings.
Already confirmed, Lady Bird Angel will be there.
She's
already confirmed. She said, I am so there.
Let's go.
So she will be in the house for sure. I got KC. He will be in the house also for sure.
McNeil.
So you can hear the potential downfall voice live. In a world. He might be there Friday.
Drink beer and watch the Bulls.
He might be here Friday as well, too. He said he might fall through for that one.
Let's go.
Y'all missing a lot. Y'all got to come hang out, man. Come hang out with us, man.
Okay, back to tonight's action. I saw a couple people asking about it in the comments. Speaking of Patrick Williams and Torrey Craig being in the starting lineup, that is because DeMar DeRozan is out tonight attending to family matters, according to the team. And I think I saw from Will, a tweet from Will, when they were chatting with Billy earlier tonight pregame, that they're not sure when DeMar will be back from this excused absence from the team.
Interesting.
Whether or not he will be there for Friday night's game.
That's interesting.
But said that we are prepared to give DeMar as much time as he needs. And to those of you prying and looking for more details on what's going on, we don't have them. And honestly, none of our business.
Real talk, but I do find that, only reason I find that interesting because when the news came out, it was being reported that he would be back for the game on Friday. So with Billy saying it's up in the air.
Yes.
Hey, man, whatever's going on, DeMar, we rolling with you, bro.
Hope you're well.
Yes, sir.
Hope you are well. Because I think some people were maybe taking a bit of a cynical look at it, like, the day after Zach LaVine and a trade request / trade talk thing happens, all of a sudden DeMar just disappear. I don't think there's any correlation there at all.
At all. He's been dealing with a lot over these past few years with his
family, bro. He has. Other good news for the Bulls on the who's in, who's out front. Caruso, who's been out for the last couple of games with that toe, active and available tonight.
Ow!
In his will play his usual supporting role off the bench.
Let's go.
As we mentioned, Torrey Craig, and Pat both starting.
Come on, baby.
Then we shift to Orlando, who are playing the second night of a back-to-back tonight. Mm-hmm. They were in Brooklyn last night. So Bulls got a little bit of an advantage there. Bulls have a day of rest. Magic were playing in Brooklyn last night. They took a 20-point loss.
They did.
Last night to put them at 5-5 on the year. Markelle Fultz still out dealing with that knee issue. Gary Harris, who was questionable on their injury report with a groin injury, is active and available tonight for Orlando. He's been playing a decent role player position for them so far.
Agreed.
And then our old pal Wendell, who some Bulls fans still cry over. I don't know why.
The greatest center we ever had.
Left hand fracture that required surgery.
Yeah.
He is out and will be reevaluated, and I think still at least a couple weeks from now. Mm-hmm. So no Wendell Carter Jr. for them. Orlando. This is a shorthanded Orlando team we're facing tonight, Dave.
Yeah, but still a good team. You know, they still have a lot of talent on that squad. Both of the Wagner brothers are awesome. You know, of course, you have the number one draft pick in Paolo.
He good.
So he's. I've heard things. Suggs is silently becoming another person who I could put on the Bulls killer list. You know, he always has a good game against them. But I'm really looking at Markelle Fultz because we haven't had a real chance to go against him. Every time we played him, he's kind of been hurt. Now he's fully healthy. He's looked great, honestly. And I'm glad he does because I always thought he was a really good player. So he's looked really solid. And, you know, the Bulls' strength is that backcourt defense. That's where they play. That's where their thing is as far as their defense is concerned. We're like 22nd. But their defense in the backcourt is pretty good with their guards. So I'm interested to see that matchup with Markelle Fultz and how that goes.
Indeed.
Trust the process. Hey, shout out, Mr. Long. That was awesome.
Well done. Also, shout out to one of our ride or dies, Anthony, in the comments, who said, "Can I get a shout out? My parents traveling to Germany. Diehard fans always repping the Bulls. Go rep the Bulls in Germany.
Shout out.
Let's do it.
David Hasselhoff to you.
Hey.
Auf Wiedersehen.
Oh, yeah. Our guy Clem pointing out that the Suggs had that buzzer beater against. I forgot about that.
I ain't forget. That's why I said he's turned into a Bulls killer.
Yeah,
That's exactly why I said it.
Yeah.
I remember it well.
Orlando this year, I mentioned 5-5 out of the gate. Wins over Houston, Portland, Utah, Lakers, and Bucks. So some quality wins in there.
Yeah, sure.
They have been getting it done primarily on the defensive end so far.
Yeah.
Their 109.9 offensive rating through 10 games is 24th in the NBA, whereas their 105.9 defensive rating, second best defense in the NBA so far. Net rating of +4. Actually, for a team that's 5-5, the Magic have the 8th best net rating in the NBA so far.
That is impressive with how young they are. Mm-hmm. You know, to be that good defensively already and be that young and missing Wendell is one of their best defenders. Yeah. And missing him and still being that kind of way says a lot about Paolo too. You know what I mean? Like, and how good he is. But that is impressive. Shout out to their coach, man, also, man. But, yeah, they're going to be a problem. They're going to be an issue for the Bulls. That's why they're going to be hovering around that 6, 7, 8 spot, you know, I think all season long. Mm-hmm. They're going to be that kind of issue, man. They're a good young team, and they play like they don't like us.
They do. Let's take a look quickly at what Paolo has done compared to his rookie year. He is the NBA's reigning Rookie of the Year from last season, where he averaged 20 points a game on respectable but not great shooting splits. Obviously getting it done on the glass. Then you look at this season so far, you know, scoring pretty much where it was. He's actually more efficient. He's shooting a better overall percentage from the field. His three-point percentage has gone up, while his attempts from three have actually come down a bit. Still doing the same work on the boards, and as you notice, the jump in assists, playing a bit more of a larger playmaking role for this Orlando team. And I was looking at Paolo's shooting splits as far as where like his shot profile, where his shots are coming from this year compared to his rookie year. The three-point attempt rate is down. His long two attempt rate is down. He is really focusing on getting the ball inside and scoring inside, where he's been pretty damn efficient.
And again, shout out Jamal Mosley, because I'm going to give him credit for that as well. You know, making that switch for him, seeing where he's best at and how he can best impact the team, because he's the best player on the team. He's your number one option. All right. So you're going to have to utilize whatever skill he does best. And he does a lot well. But obviously, you know, going inside, facilitating, and him having the ball in his hands, helps him a lot. Because him getting to the line is not going to help. Because you saw the percentages from the line. But him scoring, inside, getting that 47-48% from the field. I don't expect him to be a great three-point shooter. They've got other shooters for that. Yeah. But you do want it to be respectable. And for what he is, 33% as of right now, okay, it's respectable. Yeah. But go inside. That is what you're saying to
me. You mentioned the free throw percentage, which has been a bit of an issue for Paolo so far. And he's taken a big drop. Like, he gets to the free throw line. He got to the free throw line as a rookie. He's getting to the free throw line again this year. Yeah. His percentage has dropped from 74 last season, 67 thus far this season. But it's not just Paolo. This Orlando team, one of the things they do well offensively is get to the free throw line.
Yes, sir.
Their .239 free throw attempt per field goal attempt rate so far in the NBA, 6th highest. They get to the line a lot. The Bulls are coming off of a game on Monday when they got to the line a decent amount. They still are not finding their way to the line as much as you would like. Yeah. The other thing that the Bulls have to be careful about with this Orlando offense that statistically is towards the bottom of the pack so far, they crash the offensive glass.
Yes, they do.
The Bulls, as Will pointed out recently, have gone from an elite defensive rebounding team last season to that this season. Orlando has an offensive rebounding percentage thus far this year of 29.1, sixth in the NBA. Bulls have got to be aware of the glass.
I'm also interested as well, like them being so high in defense. They're also going against the Bulls, who are number 1 in turnovers, because the Bulls do not turn the ball over a lot. And so that's going to be an interesting dynamic to see who wins on that one, man. So that's not something else to look out for.
I love when you and I are reading the same book that's invisible and we don't know we're reading the same book.
It's what we do, man.
Because the last note I was going to make about Orlando's offense, they have one of the worst turnover percentages in the NBA. That's what's causing, I think, a lot of their offensive struggles. The Bulls can capitalize on that.
They can.
One of the areas where the Bulls have an edge, regardless of the opponent, pretty much coming into every game so far this season, they take care of the basketball.
They do.
And they create turnovers. Yeah. The points off turnovers category has always been an area where the Bulls can make up for, losing the three-point battle or whatever else it might be, or a disgusting shooting display like the one we saw on Monday night from Zach and DeMar. If the Bulls can create some of those turnovers, get out and transition for some easy buckets, hello, Caruso back in the lineup.
Hello.
Maybe the Bulls see themselves in a very winnable position in this one tonight.
Yeah, it could definitely happen that way for them. And that is where the young team comes out. That's where it's actually shown. You saw me giving them credit, for their defense, for the shooting, for the other things that they're doing that you're shocked about a young team would do. The turnovers is exactly what a young team does. They turn the ball over, and that is literally where the Bulls thrive here. All right, that's where the piranhas roll. That's where the death by 1,000 cuts comes into action. So guys like Io, Javon Carter, if he plays, and Alex Caruso, those guys out there causing havoc and wreaking havoc. Because Suggs will turn the ball over. Like, he'll do that. Anthony will turn the ball over. That's what he kind of does. Markelle, not so much. But, he'll get a couple out there. Paolo also, he'll turn the ball over. Wagner, just because he hates everything, he'll turn the ball over as well. Isaac, too. Isaac will definitely do that. So it'll be interesting just to watch how that works out, because once that they apply that kind of pressure to that young team and they get out to running with this, it could be in the Bulls' benefit, to get this kind of W.
A couple of people I noticed in the comments pointing out the other interesting wrinkle of tonight's game. Delbert Grady, and then I think our guy Fish was also talking about it. Orlando could be a potential trade partner for Zach LaVine. I feel like what Zach can do well would fit great with this Orlando team that's got size. They don't really, have that slashing wing scorer type, the shooting type that Zach LaVine is. They have the salary to match, as Fish pointed out, and they also have a wealth of draft picks.
They do. They got a wealth. I still wouldn't trade it to. I'd rather trade Zach out of the conference. That is my thing. Hello, Sacramento. That's what I'm kind of looking at. But at this point, you got to take what you can get, right? You got to take what's best for a team. And he's going to have a lot of suitors, as I keep telling y'all. He's good. He's going to have suitors. But I'd rather send him out to the West, honestly.
Where did that comment
where he's
just
from. Go to your home.
Scott LaRock in the comments said, it's going to be fascinating to watch Zach's body language and how he flows on the court. In a way, I'm sure this is a bit of a relief as much as emotions might be mixed, meaning now that the cat's out of the bag. We're talking about it. Zach has acknowledged that he and his representation are talking with the Bulls about a trade and that everybody's on board to explore trades. That is, to me, the curious thing about tonight. I think we're either going to get a fucking Super Saiyan Zach game tonight.
Yeah.
After the you want to trade me stuff comes out, or we're going to get same old bad start to the season, Zach. But I wouldn't be shocked if we get 30-plus point Zach tonight.
Yeah.
Especially because no DeMar.
Yeah, you know what? It would be nice to see. It'd be nice to see Zach actually hit his percentages. It would be awesome.
Spotted at the college basketball action at the UC last night with your agent, Rich Paul, wearing hoodies that said, be clutch.
Smiling on him. You didn't even go to Kentucky.
After you shot 5 of 20? In a loss?
How dare you?
You want to prove to people that you're worth trading for? Go out and show us tonight.
We got to see it, Zach. You love playing for the Bulls.
Bulls fans who are ready to embrace this trade, we are now rooting for good Zach to come back.
Yes.
So that the bidding war exists and the bidding war is legitimate and we get a good value in return.
I just want good Zach to come back because you deserve to be good. But that too.
Either way.
But that too.
Even if you're someone who's still not on board with the idea of trading Zach and want him to stick around, and we don't know for sure that he will get traded.
Yeah.
We're going to wait either way. Finding good Zach again, good news.
Oh, I like that. Also, real quick, just a music nerd thing. My man Scott LaRock, is that your real name or are you shouting out DJ Scott LaRock? This is just me on some music nerd shit right now.
There's a DJ named Scott LaRock.
It's a story, Matt. I don't want to get into it, but rest in peace. He's not with us anymore, but shout out DJ Scott LaRock. If you're with us around, I'm just want to know if that's your name or if you're shouting it out. So I'm just asking.
Jay Lee, could Pat Will drop 40 tonight?
Yeah, why not? Hey, no, he's not out there, right? DeMar ain't there.
You must be new here.
Come on, baby. DeMar ain't here.
Yeah, the only nights we've seen that from Pat, preseason or game 81 or 82 when they're sitting everybody. It's not just, it's DeMar's out or, Zach's out. It needs to be no one else is playing. Go get 30, Pat. That's the only time we've ever seen that.
Yeah. Go get – I mean, he's got an opportunity. Mm-hmm. We'll say it like that. He's got an opportunity tonight.
If without DeMar, Pat has a big game tonight.
Oh, my God.
The discourse.
Oh, my God. And listen, I might buy into it. If he comes up and drops that game – and I ain't talking 20, you know what I'm saying, or something like that. I'm talking if he drops like 30-something and a big, nice rebounding numbers – I'm going to be in here talking some shit. Just know that. I'm going to be in here talking some shit.
Ain't that some shit?
Ain't that some shit?
Our guy Glenn said, what's over-under on Carter's minutes tonight? 13? At first I thought he was talking about Wendell, and I was like, well, no, it's set at 0.5, and it's under because he ain't playing because he's hurt.
I'm going to push.
He's always hurt.
I'm going to push.
Javon, give me the over, please.
Yeah.
Just because I want to see it.
Yes.
Play Javon.
Play him.
He's shooting 50%.
That's
from
good.
3.
I've heard that's good. Joey, I've heard that's good.
Pretty good. 5 minutes past 7 Chicago time. That means tip-off is right around the corner. We are out of here. Hit that thumbs up if you were hanging with us for pregame. We appreciate you for doing so, hanging with us and hitting the thumbs up button. We will be back for postgame on the other side. Until then, Big Dave Bow, BWL Sports.
I see you, Scott
Bulls
LaRock.
Peck.
Yeah, we got to hang out. You understand.
CHGO
we got to hang out. Okay.
Bulls, our pal and producer, Joey Spathis. Thanks to the GOAT for joining us in pregame.
BDP.
He will join us again for post. Let's get a dub. Tip off. You're going to be good.
Peace. Rest in peace, Miss Melody. Peace.
We all silly like the mayor.